after enjoying, the mouth orders the stomach to go to work. You're welcome. We're going to begin section 10. And it starts with sign 67. What does it say? Ya ayyuhal rasulu balik ma unzila ilayka min rabbika. Ya ayyuhal rasulu balik ma unzila ilayka min rabbika. O messenger, proclaim, into brackets, the message which has been sent to thee from thy Lord, to thee, Muhammad, from thy Lord. وَإِنْ لَمْ تَفْعَلْ فَمَا بَلَّغْتَ رِسَالَةً فَإِمَّا تَفْعَلْ فَمَا بَلَّغْتَ رِسَالَةً. If you don't, you have not carried out the message. That's it. If thou didst not, thou wouldst not have fulfilled and proclaimed his message, his mission, sorry. وَإِنْ لَمْ تَفْعَلْ فَمَا بَلَّغْتَ رِسَالَةً. فَمَا بَلَّغْتَ رِسَالَتُهُ. I'm sorry. فَمَا بَلَغْتُ رِسَالَتُهُ. So that was a wrong reading again. Let me take it again. وَإِنْ لَمْ تَفْعَلْ فَمَا بَلَّغْتَ رِسَالَتُهُ. If thou didst not, thou wouldst not have fulfilled and proclaimed his message. Sorry, Old English was used, didst and wouldst. Sorry. Would not have proclaimed his message, or his mission, I'm sorry. Thou would not have fulfilled and proclaimed his message. رسالته والله يسمك من الناس إن الله لا يهدي قوم الكافرين. والله يسمك من الناس إن الله لا يهدي قوم الكافرين. Then and God will defend thee from men who mean mischief. So proclaim, God is telling him, proclaim, if any mean mischief to you, I will defend you. Wallahu yasmuka minan nas, wala yahdi qawmal kafirin. If thou did not know, and God will defend thee from men who mean mischief. So go and proclaim. Say, Muhammad, go and proclaim. Proclaim his message. If you don't, you haven't obeyed my mission, my command. So go, and I, God, will defend you against people who are mischievous against mischievous people. Wallahu yasmuka minan nas, inna Allah la yahdi qawmal kafirin. That was 67. Now we go to Psalm 68. Again, an order to the prophet, may peace and blessings be on him. Kul, ya ahl al-kitab, lastum ala shay'in, hatta takimu tawrata والإنجيل والإنجيل وما أنزل إليكم من ربكم. So he's telling Muhammad, tell them, cool, say, oh, people of the book, tell the people of the book, the Israelis or Israelites, if you like, tell the people of the book, ye have no ground to stand upon unless you stand fast by the Torah, the gospel, and all the revelation that has come to you from your Lord. So in other words, God doesn't want, in other words, God doesn't want us to make any distinction between the Torah, the Injil, and the Quran. That is the Old Testament, the Bible, and the Quran. God is telling Muhammad here to tell them to deal with all of them. They came at different times. When Torah comes, embrace it. When Bible comes, embrace it. When Quran comes, embrace it. Embrace it as well. So that's what this verse means. But do the Jews do it? And because the Jews haven't done it, we too don't do it. Because they were very powerful. They were special men of God. Anything they said, the whole world takes it. From them came the Roman Catholics. If I'm right, yes. From them met the Roman Catholics. If the Jews accept, okay, some are Christians. So they are supposed to take all, accept the Torah, the Injil, and then also the Quran. So if he's saying it to the Jews, he's saying it to all of us, because the Jews represented mankind. He's telling all of us to accept the Torah, the Old Testament, the Injil, the Gospel, the Bible, in other words, the Bible, and then also the Quran. Let me see. The Torah, Injil, وَمَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكُمْ مِنْ رَبِّكُمْ, and what has been brought down to you by your Lord. He's telling Muhammad to tell the Jews they should accept all and what has been brought them down by you from your Lord. And what is that one? That refers to the Quran. I've already said that anyway. ما أنزل إليكم من ربكم ولا يزيدت ولا يزيدنا كثيرا منهم ما أنزل إليك من ربك طغيانا وكفرا. So let's see that too. That come to you from your Lord. It is a revelation that cometh to thee from thy Lord. So now, he's not talking of revelation that came to them, the Israelites. He's not talking about that, the revelation that comes to them. He's now coming to the revelation that came to thee, the one he's talking to the second person, who is Muhammad. It is the revelation that cometh to thee from thy Lord, that increaseth in most of them their obstinate rebellion and blasphemy. This thing has been repeated several times, this sentence. In most of them, وَلَا يَزِيدَنَّ كَثِيرًا مِنْهُمْ مَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكَ مِنْ رَبِّكُمْ طَغْيَانًا وَكُفْرًا. Obstinity and blasphemy, rebellion, and obstinate rebellion, and blasphemy. I've done it several times before. Tagyanan, kufran, obstinate rebellion. So the revelation that came to Muhammad directly, the Jews didn't take it. It rather stirred in them obstinate rebellion and blasphemy. It's no wonder, because even the revelation that came to them, they didn't take it. The second one, they didn't take it. They didn't like Jesus. So why should they take the revelation that came to Muhammad, who is not one of them, who is not known to them? La. Okay. Tagyanan wa kufran. Fala fala tasa ala komil kafirin. Fala tasa ala komal ala komil kafirin. Fala tasa ala komil kafirin. But sorrow thou not. God is now consoling Muhammad. But sorrow thou not over these people without faith. Sorrow thou not over these people without faith. Falatasa ala komil kafirin. So when you see somebody in a sad mood, you can tell him, La tasa ala komil kafirin. Sorrow not thou over these people without faith. Okay, we go to Psalm 69. Oh, this beautiful sign. Inna lazina amanu wa lazina hadu wa nasara. Sorry, inna lazina amanu wa lazina hadu wa sabi'una wa nasara man amana billahi wa yawmil akhirati wa amila salihan fala khawfa alayhim wala hum yahzanun. So let me now explain how it is beautiful. Those who believe, into brackets, in the Quran, those who believe in the Quran, comma, those who follow the Jewish scriptures, comma, and the Sabians are another group of worshippers, and the Christians, here he has avoided the Magians, and the Christians, Nasara, and who believe in God and the last day, and work righteousness, amila swalihan, on them shall be no fear, la khawfa alayhim, nor shall they grieve, wala hum yahzanun. So, in other words, what he expects us to do, if we do, we will not fear and we will not grieve. That is, if you follow the Jewish scripture, the Injil, the Quran, and do good works, you shall not fear nor grieve. So even if you call yourself a Muslim and you don't do good works, my brother, you are not a good Muslim. We see them. I see them many in our society. Say a Muslim called Abrahamani, Abdul Qadri, right? And when they behave, you look at them, you shake your head. And some of the Christians do lots of good works. I love them for that. I have no qualms about that. I don't care what any Muslim will do. The Christians are doing good works. So if anybody does good works, this is what God is telling us. And you believe in the revelations that came before the gospel, fine. Well, maybe if you don't believe even and you believe the gospel alone, maybe, I have no doubt, and you do good works, I have no doubt that God will not add you to his people. For he says, وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيُضِيعَ سَعْيَكُمْ. He will not make your efforts go unrewarded. It's elsewhere in the Quran, if not word by word, but at least by meaning. Uh, وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزُنُونَ لَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزُنُونَ. We now go to sign 70. And what is God saying? He is now coming again back to the Israelis, and how he took a covenant with them. وَلَقَدْ أَخَذْنَا مِيثَاقَ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ وَأَرْسَلْنَا إِلَيْهِمْ رَسُولًا. We took the covenant of the children of Israel and sent them messages. وَأَرْسَلْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ رَسُولًا. Sorry. وَأَرْسَلْنَا إِلَيْهِمْ رَسُولًا. We took the covenant of the children of Israel and sent them messengers. رسولا إليهم رسولا كلما جاءهم رسول بما لا تهوى أنفسهم فريقا كذبوا وفريقا يقتلون. Whenever we sent a messenger to them with a message that does not match with their desires, some of them they kill. Some of them they call imposters. Let me see. We took the covenant of the children of Israel and sent them messengers. Every time there came to them a messenger with what they themselves desired not. Stroke, dash. Some of these messengers, some of these, is my word, these in brackets, messengers, they called imposters. And some they slay. Yes, they slay most of them. They slay Zachariah and the son, Yahya. May God have mercy on them. And even our Christian brothers believe Jesus Christ, they slay as well. But the Quran tells us no. Jesus, leave him out. They couldn't slay him. They couldn't kill him. لا قتلوه ولا صلبوه ولكن شبه له. They did not kill him. They did not hang him. He was an image. The one they killed was a likeness of him. So they killed messengers that they didn't like. Anybody who brought a message that did not match with the desires of the Jews. In those days, they used to deal with wealth and fame. Wealth and fame and might. Yes, not justice. So you see in the Quran, as they say, do justice with the Torah. When you want to judge with the Torah. They weren't judging with it. That's the Old Testament. They weren't judging with it. Okay. Nampesum wakatu Sunday slay, yeah. Okay. We now go to 7 to 1. وحسبوا ألا تكون فتنة فأموا وأسدوا ثم تاب الله عليهم ثم أموا وسموا كثيرا ثم أموا وسموا كثيرا. They thought there would be no trial or punishment, in inverted commas. They thought there would be no trial or punishment. Hasabu, they thought, Allah takunu, there will be no fitnatin, trial or punishment. فَأَمُوا وَصَمُّوا ثُمَّ. So they became blind. فَأَمُوا وَصُمَّ. They became blind and deaf. فَأَمُوا فَأَمُوا وَصُمَّ. They became blind and deaf. ثُمَّ. Then Taba Allahu alayhim. Yet God in mercy turned to them. Thumma amu, thumma amu wasamu kathirun. To them. Yet again, many of them became blind and deaf. So you see, God kept on forgiving the Israelis. That's why I say that God over pampered them. They were spoiled children. Eh? But who can question God? He pampered them. They do evil, he forgives them. They continue, he forgives them. Anyway, there was a time limit. Ajrum Musamma is also in the Quran. And the limit is almost there. So they became blind and dumb. He forgave them. Still, many of them, I repeat, still became blind and deaf. Okay, we're now at the last part. Again, the invocation of God. Wallahu basirun bima ta'malun. So God says he sees what they do. You go wrong, I forgive you. You go wrong, I forgive you. But I see, God is telling me, God, I see what you do or what they do. But God sees very well what they do. They referring to the Israelis or the people of the book. All right. Okay, we come to another part that does not match the liking of Christians. Let's see. لقد كفر الذين قالوا إن الله هو المسيح ابن مريم. So my Christian brothers, listen, I'm not saying it. It's God who is saying it in the Quran. If only you believe the Quran is from God. Certainly they disbelieve who say God is Christ, the son of Mary. الذين قالوا إن الله هو المسيح ابن مريم. God is saying what? They disbelieve. So if you don't believe that God is not Jesus, the son of Mary, you disbelieve. So this is what now God is telling the Christians. Please, I'm not saying it. Let me repeat that. Let me repeat that. Certainly, they disbelieve who say God is Christ, the son of Maryam. Al-Masihu ibn Maryam. Inna Isa al-Masihu huwa inna Allahu huwa Isa huwa al-Masihu ibn Maryam. That God is Christ, the son of Mary. وقال المسيح يا بني إسرائيل اعبدوا الله. But rather Christ says, and what does he say? The rather Christ says, اعبدوا الله. Okay, let me go back. وقال المسيح يا بني إسرائيل اعبدوا الله Rabbi Warabukum. God rather says, oh, children of Israel, worship God, my Lord and your Lord. Rabbi Warabukum. Rabbi Warabakum. Let me go to the translation. But said Christ, O children of Israel, worship God, my Lord and your Lord. God is telling us this is what Christ rather told the children of Israel. Hmm? Worship God, my Lord and your Lord. So here Jesus is telling them, God is his Lord. Is he Jesus' Lord? Hmm? إنه إنه من يشرك بالله فقد حرم الله عليه فقد حرم الله عليه الجنة الجنة وما ومأواه النار is abud is fire. Let's see. Whoever joins other gods, whoever joins other gods, that's small gods, with God. Let me use deities here. Whoever joins other deities with God, or let me go straight. Whoever joins other gods with Allah, here Allah is meaning the universal God that we talk of, that we worship. So the other gods are the smaller ones, other than Allah, who is the universal God. Hmm? Whoever joins other gods with God, with Allah, God will forbid him the garden, and the fire will be his abode. Ma'wahu an-nar. So a little bit of dicey situation here. The Christians don't worship other gods. So that's a point. In fact, they hate it. I've said it several times. They burn gods when their worshippers join Christianity. So they don't join other gods with God, with Allah. Mm. So I believe they are excluded here. Whoever joins other gods with Allah, Allah will forbid them the garden. They will not get to the garden of bliss. Mm. وَمَا لِلظَّالِمِينَ مِن نَصَارٍ وَمَا لِلظَّالِمِينَ مِن نَصَارٍ. For there will for the wrongdoers be no one to help. So if he bars them from the garden, nobody can help them to enter. They can't steal and enter. No, never. Once God says you won't enter the garden, you won't enter. You can trust his angels. They call them Azabania. Hmm? One slap and you will melt. Huh? It's not the slap of this world. The slap that will blind you. In this world, when you are given a slap, you may see stars. When the Azabanias give you a slap, straight away, for Amu, you will be blind. And probably some more, you will also be deaf. Because it comes to the ear, it affects ear too. Okay. And there will be no help. So there will be no helper. Psalm 73. What does it say? And he still asks here. لَقَدْ كَفَرَ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ ثَالِثٌ إِنَّ اللَّهَ ثَالِثٌ ثَلَاثَةٌ وما من وما من وما من إله إلا إله واحدا وما من إله إلا إله واحدا. They disbelieve who say God is one of three. That's in Trinity. They believe who say God is one of three. That's into brackets in Trinity. For there is no God except one God. There is no God except one. Ma min ilahi illa Allahu wahidan. Illa ilahi wahidan. Ma min ilahin illa illahu wahidan. There is no God except one God. Hmm? Wa in lam yantahu amma yakuluna la yamsasna allazina kafaru minhum azabun alimun. Let me take that again. Wa in lam yantahu amma yakuluna la yamassanna allazina kafaru minhum azabun alimun. If they desist not from their word of blasphemy, verily grievous punishment will befall the believers among them. Will befall la yamassanna, will befall the disbelievers among them. Let me take that in English again. If they desist, wa in lam yantahu, if they desist not, if they desist not from their word of blasphemy, ma yakuluna, from their word, into brackets of blasphemy, that's ma yakuluna, from their words, verily a grievous chastisement will befall the disbelievers among them. لَيَمَسَّنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا مِنْهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. Grievous chastisement. عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. Sign 74. He's still telling them, he's still beckoning them, asking them a question. Oh God, you are so kind. What does he say? فَلَا يَتُوبُونَ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَيَسْتَغْفِرُونَهُ فَلَا يَتُوبُونَ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَيَسْتَغْفِرُونَهُ. See, why turn they not to God and seek His forgiveness? Why don't the people turn to God and seek His forgiveness? That's why I say God pampered them a lot. Like He's pampering us now. Because we do evil, He overlooks, turns the eyes. Like a father and the children. We do evil, He turns the eyes. He turns the eyes. You see? So why don't they turn to God? And seek His forgiveness, and seek God's forgiveness? For God is oft forgiving, most merciful. فَلَا يَتُوبُونَ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَيَسْتَغْفِرُونَهُ وَاللَّهُ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. God is oft forgiving, oft merciful, most forgiving, most merciful. 75. Ma al-Masih ibn Maryam illa rasulun فقد حلت من قبله الرسول وأمة صديقة. Christ, the son of Mary, was no more than a messenger. And now he's adding that the messengers who came before him, in other words, they were not God. They were not considered as God. The messengers who came before him, why didn't God call them God? Or why didn't people call them God? But Jesus Christ is God. So if the people who came If the messengers who came before Christ were not God, Jesus Christ is not God either. And Muhammad is no God either. You can select one and say he is God. Okay. You can't take one messenger and call him God. So that's what the Bible, the Quran is telling us here. Huh? Let me go to the English section. Oh. Christ, the son of Mary, was no more than a messenger. Many were the messengers that passed away before him. Yes. His mother was a woman of truth. So God is telling us the truth now. What we do know, the truth in detail. It says Jesus' mother was a woman of truth. They had both to eat their daily food. God is saying he doesn't eat, but they both ate. They both ate. Let's see. Let me go back a bit. وما المسيح ابن مريم إلا رسول فقد حلت فقد حلت messengers passed by حلت passed away حلت passed away ولقد حلت من قبله رسول وأمة صديقة وأمه صديقة. His mother was a woman of truth. وأمه صديقة. The mother was a woman of truth. That's Maryam, our grandmother Maryam, was a woman of truth. Kana kula yakulani ataamu. And said both of them ate. Have you ever seen God eating? God is telling us they are not God. They ate food. Who can say God ate food? Have you ever seen God, let alone to see that he's eating food? So God is telling us now, is telling us here that Jesus Christ, may peace be on him, and the mother, both of them ate food. Kulani ata'am. Yakulani ata'ama. Yakulani ata'ama. Both of them, the two of them, ate food. Have you seen God eating food before? So I don't know. So this is the invention of the Jews. And people fear them. They put fear in the hearts of people, in the minds of people. That's why the Quran says here somewhere, in ututum haza fahuzuhu wa in lam ta'tuhu fahizaru. We give you this, take it. We don't give you, leave it. So they put fear in the people by saying that Jesus Christ was God. That's the order. That was the order of the day in those days. انظر كيف نبين انظر كيف نبين لهم الآيات ثم انظر أن يفكون Their daily both ate their daily food. See how God doeth make his signs clear to them. So he says this is the clarity he's making to the Jewish people, to the Israelis. See how God doeth make his signs clear to them, yet see in what ways they are deluded away from the truth. انظر كيف نبين لهم الآيات, how we made the signs clear to them. ثم انظر أن يفكون, clear to them, and yet and yet see in what ways they are deluded away from the truth. وَأُنْظُرْ أَنَّ يَفَكُونَ. How they are deluded away from the truth. Okay, let's go to 76. We have about 2 verses or 2 signs to finish. Let's see if we can. Kul atabuduna min dunillahi ma la yamliku lakum darran wala wala naf'an. Say, Kul, will ye worship besides God something which hath no power either to harm or benefit you? Will you worship besides God something which hath no power either to harm or to benefit you? أتعبدون من دون الله ما لا يملك لكم ضرا ولا نفعا. ضرا ولا نفعا. Either to harm or benefit. Harm or benefit. ضرا نفعا. ضرا harm. نفعا benefit. ضرا ولا نفعا. والله هو السميع العليم. But God, He is. But God, He it is that heareth and knoweth all things. Sami'un alimun. So God is hearing us and seeing us. And I'm glad to say that God is hearing me reading this and seeing me reading this, even if there were no cameras. Allahu Akbar. God is the greatest. So let's go to 77. So here is telling us to do things according to His limits. Kul ya ahl al-kitab la taglu fi dinikum غير الحق. Say, O people of the book, exceed not in your religion the bounds of what is proper. The bounds of what is proper. بغير الحق. ولا تتبعوا هواء قوم قد ضلوا من قبل. The bounds of exceed not in your religion the bounds of what is proper, trespassing beyond the truth. Trespassing beyond the truth. Wala tatabi'u. Trespassing beyond the truth, we've done it. Wala tatabi'u halwa il kaumil kat dallu min qabla. Nor follow, la tatabi'u, nor follow the vain desires, Hawaii, al-Hawaii. Wala tatabi'u al-Hawa. And do not follow the false desires of people who went wrong in times gone by. So if you didn't know, God is telling us those who said Jesus Christ was God, God is telling us that we shouldn't follow the vain desires of the people who went wrong by saying so. By saying Jesus Christ was God or God was Jesus Christ. We shouldn't follow the vain desires of such people. Before. وَدَلُّوا كَثِيرًا وَدَلُّوا عَنْ سَوَاءِ سَبِيلٍ. People who went wrong in times of gone by. Who misled many, وَدَلُّوا كَثِيرًا. And who misled many, وَدَلُّوا كَثِيرًا. And strayed themselves, وَدَلُّوا كَثِيرًا عَنْ سَوَاءِ سَبِيلٍ. وَدَلُّوا كَثِيرًا and strayed many. وَدَلُّوا suwa'i sabilan. Hmm? Uh, who misled many and strayed themselves from the even path. Here in Arabic it is wadallu kathiran, and misled many, wadallu an suwa'i sabil, and strayed from the even path. Well, I have to end here, and give my jaws some rest. Pardon me if it doesn't sound well to your ears. My knees are down for you. Sometimes I play a lot. It's one of those things. May God bless you very much. Thank you very much. Ila likai. Bye bye.